All right, everybody, we are live. Hey, welcome back again to another episode of the Segment Podcast. Always trying to bring you guys great information and people that are moving from the ordinary to the extraordinary. I've got three special guests tonight who have thought of a gap in our mountain bike lives, and they created a solution. And I wanted to introduce them to you tonight. I'm going to bring them up one at a time. The folks here are from the app called the Bikerider App. So if you get a chance while you're on the show tonight learning about this app, you can actually pre-order it now. If you have iOS, Apple, you can get on there and get it. But first of all, we want to bring up Miss Cilla. Cilla, there she
Hi.
is, one of the folks behind the Bikerider App. And then next up is Mikael.
Hey, how are you doing?
And
Thanks for
then
having us on here, Mark.
you're welcome, of course. And then next up is going to be Mr. Nick. This is your
Mark.
team. Hey, Nick. Thank you all for coming on the show tonight. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Cheers.
So we've been talking back and forth about the Bikerider app, and you guys, from what I understand, Mikael kind of thought of the idea, and you guys are like a togetherness team of different pieces of specialty to create this app. And why don't you guys go ahead and tell us about the app? And for visual, for the folks that are on the show, I'm going to go ahead and pop open this About Us screen. And you guys want to go ahead and take it away from here?
For sure. So thank you so much, Mark, for having us on. And we're here to talk about Bikerider. And I want to hand it over to Mikael because he's the one that came up with the idea from the very beginning. So,
okay,
Mikael,
sure. I'll give it a go. The whole. Where do I start? So let me quote a friend that I've known for maybe 5 months. I got to know him through biking, and he told me the other day that despite like how the last year's been, he's like, in the last 6 to 12 months, I met more new friends than I have my whole life. And this guy, he's like in his mid 40s, so he had some chance to meet a lot of people. He's definitely, he's a regular guy, but he's just still, of course, we were talking about like how excited we were, both of us, about the biking community, how friendly people are, and how many nice friendships we, acquired over the few years we've been doing it. So I think that's kind of like the essence of why we're building Bikerider, and what basically we want to. Biking has changed my life, and we want to share that with more people. So that's a little bit of like our vision and our mission, and like what we want to do with this whole thing. I'm really stoked, and I'll talk more about it later. But like it really has affected my life in so many positive ways, and I realized I wanted to reach more people, so I started organizing events, and just in small scale, like small group rides and stuff. And through that, I met so many, like cool friendships, and it's just had a huge impact on me. And I think if we could make that easier, and I want to make more people experience that, not just the bike riding, but the whole thing. So like it's one thing to get on your bike, and that's great if people do that, but like, for how long do you do that if you're not super persistent? So like, we want people to ride more, see more events, but we also want them to meet more people that, share the thoughts. And, if the first guy you ride with is not, you don't connect with him, you're going to connect with the next person or her. So that's a little bit of the background, high level of the thinking of Bikerider.
That's cool. I mean, definitely the essence of the mountain bike community, or the biking community, is so warm, and it's so collective and inclusive of everybody. And I love the fact that you want to capture that and help spread that across, to multiple people on a grand scale. I mean, this is very cool. Great idea.
Yeah. So I think that's basically what my text says. I started mountain biking. I was out of shape. I started mountain biking and then road biking 2018. A friend showed me. I had no idea what I was doing, and I just want to keep doing this. And 1 year into it, I was like, it's a little bit of a joke, but I say, like I want to become pro. And that sounds a little weird for someone over 40 to like, so I do realize I will never win, any substantial races, or I've never even raced, but pro in the meaning I want to work with this. I want to turn my passion into my job, and I want my job to be able to get other people to experience the same passion and the same rewards. So that's basically what my that's my bio, I guess. So, I'm gonna, before I take up, I'm excited about this, so I can talk forever. Nick, do you wanna say something about yourself? Yeah, and
sure.
why you joined? Because I'm so excited about this team too. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
I think one of the most important things that Michael was just saying to me personally is the whole world of events. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be a bike ride, although that's where we're at right now. And I think it's really important to get out and ride your bike, be outside, get some exercise going and have a blast. But events in general is where the community comes together. It's where you harvest new relationships. It's where you meet new people. And so there's this whole, it works really great because Mikael, Cilla, and I are all riders in different disciplines here. And we came together and met through an event. And it was through our children's school. And so a little bit behind me personally, I've been doing industrial design. I have a degree. I've been doing it for 15 years commercially, which I do furniture and lighting. And I, do some fabrication, some technical stuff, engineering, graphics, packaging, stuff like that. Like all around creative. Grew up in a really creative family. And it's just a passion of mine to see things differently and to kind of look outside the box. And when I've got 3 kids, we're in Northern California. I'm born and raised NorCal baby. And, I think that when Michael first told me about this idea, it was like, hell yeah, like I'm on board with this. This is like a no-brainer. And I think it's super important to believe in what you're doing to be able to kind of jump into it.
Nice.
Yeah, I was the one that actually tagged along the team last. Mikael and Nick was riding buddies and talked about this idea and starting like developing some ideas together. And when I joined, the reason I joined was that I really saw how cool they met so many people through group rides and through the events that they were attending. And when it came to, so I'm a biker, like more of a commute biker from the beginning, and started like mountain biking a year ago. So I'm fairly new in the game. But for me, it was like about the people and having people coming together through the love of these different disciplines within biking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's where I'm at.
That's great. It's so contagious, the passion of mountain biking. It spreads from mountain biker or cyclist. I mean, we all have this thing in common, and it's this unspoken stoke or unspoken, kind of like membership feeling that you have when you just look over at somebody and you smile and you completely understand what's happening, with that type of vibe. And I just absolutely love it. And I love what you guys are doing with this. So, if folks out there that are watching this or listening to this audio, the Bikerider app is also on Instagram, has been putting out some great stuff prior to the launch of the app. And it's been a lot of great things, like a good heads up on specific things. Do you guys want to share some of the things that the Bikerider app through Instagram has been sharing with the community and how that will be integrated into the app?
Yeah, I think I can help kind of drive that one, and Mikael and Cilla, you can chime in. But since
Sure.
I'm sort of heading up the Instagram, so I'm the face behind the curtains there, and we have a big task ahead of us. But we're all we're committed, and we're a committed team. We're super capable. essentially what we're doing as an app is to pull all of the events, only bike related events, and put them into our database. And events aren't, some people could think, well, it's one track, it's a race, when's the next race? No, that's part of it. But actually some of these beautiful relationships happen when you get on with a buddy and you go hit the trail or go on the road or set up a pop-up, race somewhere behind CVS. So these are the events that we cater to, and not just the riding part, but there's the advocacy part. There's swap meets, there's bike shows, there's all sorts of events out there. And so that's what I was saying. We have a huge task. And what we decided to do originally out the gate, it's kind of funny because we were like, well, let's just kind of hone in on, the rides in our town. And so it's like, oh, cool, we got like 6 of them, and how do we create more? And so then it was like all this manifesting into what this app can be. And so the Instagram account right now is a super helpful tool because the way that people have been using social media these days, Facebook is kind of squeezing out of the whole realm here, and you can still, find events and post stuff. But I think to reach the mass and to find the people who are really participating in these events, Instagram is a great tool for us. So we've been able to really connect pretty quickly and surprisingly get lots of great people who have really awesome things to contribute, to say, and they get the idea that what we're doing is to create these cycling events near you. So what we're doing is we're building this database, and every time, I capture an event, it gets logged. It goes into our Google suite of sheets and spreadsheets and all this stuff. And then we categorize it, we get all the contact information, and we create this form, and we're able to connect with the event organizers and post it. And so that was a great tool initially. Right now, to just keep doing that, to show it in our stories, to show people that actually what we're giving you is something valuable. Like, you just pay attention, and we're going to show you what we got, because it's coming down the pipeline here pretty quick.
Yeah, I know the launch date of this app is coming up. I think I saw June. Is it June 1st?
You got it.
Is the launch for this?
That's a big day, yeah.
That's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
And just looking at the power of this app, just through the eyes of Instagram and seeing things that are happening across the nation, it's really cool. So if you haven't got a chance to, folks, take a look at the Bikerider app on Instagram. Or it's the handle is the Bikerider. Is it the Bikerider app or the Bikerider?
_app. Yeah, Bikerider. That's right. One word _app.
Bikerider _ app. And it's cool because there's stories there and there's posts there, and these folks are able to kind of feed information that's happening in your area, which is really cool. And if you want to see stuff outside of that area, there's just a ton of great things happening. I mean, the swap meet thing is a great example, because if you need a part for your bike right now with COVID, things are hard to get, right? So if you knew that there was a swap meet in your area, you probably have a really good chance of finding what you need, but it's hard to know it. But with this app, you'll be able to find out things happening like that, which is going to be a huge value for a lot of us. And let's talk about the timing too. The timing of this app is going to be critical, because with COVID, so many of me included, I'm considered a COVID rider. There's so many of us out there on the trails, and we kind of get a cheat sheet now. We can see things that are going to be happening in the area. If you want to travel somewhere, we can see what's happening in that area all through this app. Was that one of the things that kind of kicked this idea off, Mikael, or?
Yeah, so it's funny. It was actually the other way around for a bit. So uh, I started tinkering with the idea. So my background is a software developer. Yeah, so I figure I put that to use and do something interesting. And with all I said about being excited about biking. So I started tinkering, and it's like, oh, we're going to index all the events of the world, and then it's like, maybe just United States. Let's start there. It's big enough, and it's a um, fairly consistent market. I was working away, like having it as a passion project and more hours went into it, and more hours, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna launch soon, but just this other thing and just this other thing, and then COVID struck, and I was like, everything was canceled. So I was like indexing things, and it's like bam, 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 and it's like,
Dang.
now I need to build something. Like, canceling is not really something that happens on a cycling. It's like it happened occasionally, but all of a sudden you need I saw even Google came up with new inventions in their systems for dealing with canceled and postponed events. And they said, due to COVID, we have to change how we're thinking about, because events, they're not even, they're moved multiple times, they're canceled and moved to another date. Then they move it again. And how are we going to, so it was just so I was like, no, this is not going to work, so I was about to give up for a bit, and I was like, I didn't do anything for 3 months. I was just like,
Wow,
man, this is down the drain. But then I started thinking and that, I was talking to Cilla, I was talking to Nick, and it's like, well, what do we do with this? And maybe this is an opportunity. And this is before we realized that everyone was going to cycle like crazy,
yeah.
so I was bummed, because it's like, this is going the wrong way. And then it's like, maybe it's going to take a year or two. Like, no one had an idea. There was no vaccine on the horizon. So we're like, maybe this is like an opportunity. Keep it as a side project, and work on it, give it more time, change some priorities around. And after a while, group rides started coming back on. People were comfortable enough, with masks or not, like small groups, like 4 people. Maybe we can do that. And before we understood like how this was contagious, or and so we had to rethink the whole strategy, where I was excited about the bigger stuff. I mean, group rides too, but I think like festivals, races, just to attend and understand, because I was new to the sport, and it's hard to find and what's going on. What's the mountain bike festival in Sedona? Now, everyone talks about it. It's like, I had no idea, and you missed that by 1 week, and it's like, why didn't I go? But with all those off, then it turned out that the right thing to do. This was hard for me, to twist my mind to think different. So group rides was everything that was on. So then we're like, okay, we got to start there. Let's start small. For all of 2020, everything that's been going on pretty much is group rides. Some, smaller events, and some have been pushing it. And so it turned out to be pretty cool, because now we kind of have group rides styled, and we can start. It's harder to index bigger events, because they're more. They don't look the same, they kind of have different formats and stuff. So that gave us actually some time to test run with some smaller but more frequent events. And now our next big task that Nick has spent a lot of time on is, while we've been coding, me and Cilla, is to contact with organizers, so they can post their events directly with us, so we make sure to have a relationship, and they can keep them up to date. And now that things seem to stabilize again, and events actually go off on the day they say they're going to go off. So talking about COVID, it's been a roller coaster, but everything is for the better, I guess, in the end. But yeah, it's been anxiety sometimes.
Yeah, I could imagine, just a lot of work, even just getting the things into the system, and then all of a sudden having to figure out how to cancel them. So it's like a double entry, it's like putting it in and then putting out the second part for the same thing. But kudos to you guys for starting an app like this during COVID, when all of a sudden everything went away. The whole piece of all the information that you need to have in this type of an app is now gone. And man, you guys really just pivoted and changed over to group rides, which I'm sure was also kind of tough because I'm sure group rides are smaller, and how do you know if they're really going to happen, and who's doing them. So that's a lot of work. But in the same token, it was a great way for you guys to really grind your teeth and getting these little micro groups out, and that information out, which is great. Speaking of groups, one of the big groups out here is Trail Dogs MTB. And they just, you guys know those guys, huh? They had an amazing month of April. They did a group ride every single weekend for the community and just brought everybody together. It was amazing. It was amazing. I bet you they are tired from it though, because it was awesome. It was awesome, but it was full on for a month. Ian Kelly here is on the line. He says, I could see huge potential for this. Excited for this. June 1st, baby. June 1st.
Yeah.
Got another comment right here. Says, Landsberg says, I started back in MTB after 30 plus years, mainly because the ski hills were closed. I can't believe how much fun I am having. It's hard to find a group that fits my age group. Oh, how about that, you guys? Is that something that the Bikerider app can bring value to?
This is actually very similar to my own personal story, because we used to ski during the most part of the winter season, and we decided during COVID not to. And that's why I also started ramping up, going more on bike rides with my mountain bike. And for me, it's been a bit of, I don't know if the listener had the same relationship to it, but I feel that mountain biking and skiing are connected in me. I searched the same kind of feeling, and I sort of got it out of mountain biking in a way that I hadn't explored as much before COVID, because the slopes were open and we were playing in the snow. But all of a sudden it's like, okay, let's see what we can do back home instead. And then just take the bike going to the mountain and feeling like, wow, this is a totally different playground, but it serves the same kind of purpose in one sense. And there is a beautiful, nice community out there on those mountains as well, where people are super friendly and say hi and want to hang out, when you meet up. So it's very similar to, cool. Liz says exactly. I feel the same way, that COVID, as Michael discovered, obviously was super disruptive in so many ways, but also now when we're in another spectrum of that crazy year, I think we also feel that we gain a lot and we learned a lot and we discovered new things to do and to hang out together in new ways. So that's awesome. And like you pointed out, Mark, that the biking community is growing, and it's, you can't even buy a bike now because everybody wants to bike, which is awesome. It's just great.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you guys you're launching this at such a cool time for the whole community, and to be able to find things. One of the things I was wondering is for associations. We have a thing in our local area. There's a trail system called Greer Ranch, or we call it the Garden. And, they're going to be building on it. But working locally with the associations has been really helpful. Will there be association presence as well in the Bikerider app in order to maybe donate or get involved in things like that?
So that is actually one of the tracks that we're also investigating at the same time as Nick is reaching out to event organizers. I'm reaching out to advocacy and trail organizations to see how we could help them grow and sort of spread their, because they also have a lot of events. So we could start exactly with what we're doing, just by amplifying their message of what they want the community to do for the trails, or for the purpose of what they are working with. So we're investigating how can we facilitate, both for the community's sake, but also for the organization's sake. Because one of the things that I feel is very often it'd be great for instance, me and our 2 kids to go out and dig some dirt. That's a fun Saturday evening or afternoon. That'd be great. But it's hard to find those events when there's only one poster in a bathroom somewhere, and if you miss that poster, it's hard. So that is one of the things that we're working on making a bigger chapter. But it is still, it's on a platform already, so we're working on growing that part.
Wow, Cilla, that's awesome. That's awesome. Nick, I think you were going to say something a little bit earlier. I heard you And
Yeah.
didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, I think there's so much I want to say. There's a couple things like I think it's important to know that we're not just mountain bikers. There's road biking here. I have a single speed, and we all have kids that ride different disciplines. So the app, one of its priorities is to capture anybody on a bike. It doesn't matter about disability, adaptation, unicycles, tandems, touring, any sort of discipline. That's the first and foremost one of the features with the app, where you can filter. After we have the bulk of the events. So when you filter through that, you then get all the events listed that are in that filter. Wow. There's a search feature that Michael could talk about, but everybody was right now you can actually see sort of a preview of what we're doing, and these are actually live events that are happening. We're focused kind of currently all on California, but this will be we're as soon as we go live, we're opening up the submission process to anybody in the U.S. But right now, you can go to our web app. We'll put the link back up in our bio and Instagram, so you can click on any one of these, like the Cinco de Mayo ride, Mark. If you click on that, it kind of opens up into an event expanded view, and it gives you all of the information that you need about the event, where it's located, where the tickets or information, the RSVP is.
Wow.
This is a little bit shows you the interface more. There's a home, and then you have a bookmark page, which lets you kind of, if you like an event in the app currently, you can bookmark it, and it will send it to a page where it stores and archives all of the events that you like. So if North Star is having their downhill race coming up, you can bookmark it. You can save all these things. And then there's a little bit of a social component with our user login, where we would have your personal information. And that's for down the road when maybe something more expands with the app.
Mm-hmm. That is fantastic. So for the folks that are listening on the audio, I basically clicked on looked like a demo. It's called the Bikerider.app, and it'll take you to a page where you can kind of play around with this and filter it down to your discipline. And then you can see all the events in that discipline. So we were here, we clicked on the Cinco de Mayo section, and look at this. It says attend, 19 spots left, event free. It tells you the time. There's a location button, the details, and which people are coming. This is a cool interface. It's very easy.
Is there screen frozen there?
Is it? Let me cut back. Oh, it's not moving on your guys' side. Let me see. Oh, I see. It opened up a new tab. Let me get this tab. This is really cool. And what I'm going to bring up here is what it looks like when we do when you go to Bikerider.app, you're going to see what this is going to look like. And it almost kind of reminds me of a Facebook type of page.
Yeah.
Are you going there? Is that what the thought process may have been?
Yeah. I don't mean to interrupt, but I think so. You actually left the app. So this is like one of the event organizers that we have indexed on the app. So on the previous screen, when you click read more, then you get to the actual organizer. So this is one of the organizers. So this is not our work.
Gotcha.
To put it bluntly, but this is what it leads to, and this is where. So at this time, we are an event aggregator. So like you find all the events around you. We know location. We know the name. We know the description. We know, and we categorize them by what discipline it is. And then if you're interested in going, you actually RSVP on all these different platforms, like, so we collect events from different platforms and different organizers. And because so if they were RSVP with us, we somehow need to notify the organizers that someone wants to come, and that where we're at right now, we let people do it directly on their site. Gotcha. This is another what you're looking at now, the bookmark feature. That's how you can collect them within the app. So if you're interested in 5 different events, you can bookmark them and save them in Bikerider. But RSVP is happening outside of our app.
Got it. So basically hit that read more button there, and that takes you to the organizer, where you kind of get that smooth handoff to the organizer where you can see how many spots are left, if there's a cost for it, the times, and all that stuff. This is great. And then here's where we would bookmark if we wanted to. I'm not sure, but I think I want to. You can bookmark that. That is very cool. And then go back to events. And then this is everything filtered down for Cinco de Mayo. Look at all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot. I actually had a little bit of an interesting dialogue DM this morning from a guy named Matt off Instagram, and he's in SoCal, and he was like, "Man, I don't know if you're gonna do this, but I'm working on this jump. It's totally been destroyed. It's like an 4-foot blip or something like that, and he's like building it up and spending hours and hours of work on it. He's like, in June, I'm gonna have a whip off. Will you guys be able to do that?" And it's like, hell yeah, bro. Like, awesome. we're going to have a submission form. And so when you go and access our web app right now, you can't do this, but when the app goes live, we'll have an event submission form, and you can put the picture up that you want, the date and the time. And then people would find that through our app and then RSVP, and it would get kicked over to Matt, and he would know, how many people are going to show up. Or even I was like, "Hey, Matt, like, it looks like you're spending a lot of time building that jump and you're all by yourself, why don't you create an event to have people come help you? Help you dig, help you build." So events.
So cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Man, one of these comments, I think, Cilla, were you talking about this one from Ian Kelly? He says, "I see an offer coming from Strava because you guys have a solution to everything they are lacking."
That's nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so Strava, I think we're all like big fans of Strava, like when it comes to tracking and to all the things that they are doing great. But we come from another perspective in terms of like to put people together in the same spot doing something that is sort of organized. There's another approach needed, obviously. So we attack like the get people out of the door and have fun together from another perspective, I guess. But I think lots of people on their rides are using Strava for tracking. I think it's big in the community, and I think it's great. But to meet people, maybe Strava is not the best at in terms of that, and that's what we want to achieve, to connect people to what's going on both in the community, but also like I feel just working in with all these events that we take a look at it, and as Nick said, that we're categorizing them manually at this time. So I do take a look at them, or Nick do, or Michael do. And it's so inspiring, as like, I just want to travel to go to all these fun, cool, small events, because people have so much fun. And it doesn't really matter. Like you said, Nick, there's so many cool events going on, just touring a beach in Southern California, or going on a super steep mountain in Northern California, or there's so many cool things that you can do. And yeah, so I think that's where we're coming from, rather than maybe more of the like tracking / athlete going with their tracking perspective, if you see what I mean. Or
we're like way past Angie sensors and GPS. Like, Strava is going to be coming for us.
Yeah. What I love about this too is that this could be almost like a way to plan your weekend or plan your vacation. If you're going to do a bike riding vacation, you can see what's happening at a location and be like, I was between Santa Cruz and this location. I'm going here because this is the cool stuff that's happening. Check it out. I found it on the Bikerider app. I mean, that's one aspect that it could be utilized for too, just by getting people together. And then oh, look, I see Cilla's going to be there. Definitely going to that one, or Mikael's going to be there. Nick's going to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Yes, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
There's something there, Mark, about the practical aspects of the app. There's the planning aspect. There's the exploration aspect. There's, for me, one of the visions I had was my oldest son is kind of a downhiller, and we travel out of state to do the various races around. And we were, just out in St. George last year, and I was there, and I was like, I want to find somebody to ride with. I want what's happening in this town, what's going on near me. And so this app is especially helpful for when you're traveling, when you're out of town. If we're going up to Oregon this summer, and we're going to do some rides and shuttling. And I think, being able to just open up an app that's in your pocket that you can rely on, that has a full-blown list. We're not there yet, but we will be, I think, is so, it feels so like comforting, I think, to know, especially when you're a rider and you kind of, you want to search, you don't want to miss something, and you want to stay ahead of it. Also, another important part of this is for the event organizers, especially some of the big coalitions or the orgs out there, some of the bigger ride organizers. We are doing some connections with our local organizations here that are nonprofit for bike access for bikes and trail maintenance and stuff like that. And we had a meeting with them, and they were like, this will be a really helpful tool for us for when we're scheduling our events, so we could actually find out there's no overlap of somebody else scheduling events. So like Dirt Days, awesome. A TDS the other day was like, we're having our dig day, but come early, and then you can go to Dirt Days or something like that. So I think it's important. Yeah. It's a useful tool that people will find many ways to use.
Love it. I could really see the associations. I mean, the comfort, as you're saying, as a traveler, there's comfort in that, knowing that you can find a group ride, and say you go to Sedona just for the weekend, you can find somebody out there and ride with them, make new friends. But then on the other end, if you are a association, or maybe you're a local bike shop that just opened, you would probably get to the point where you feel comfort in letting the Bikerider app know that you're having an event that day, because the people are using the app, and that is an outlet or a form of not advertisement, but just an educational piece of information. People could know something's happening. So I could see the value on both ends, the rider end and on the organizer's end. So it's awesome. It's awesome. Ian Kelly says, you guys hit the nail right on the head. We got Nick MTB says POG. I'm not sure what POG means. You guys know what POG means?
This is probably my son spamming the chat.
Oh, hi, Nick.
I have a junior son, and I've got several kids. I don't know where they are at this given time, but these are terms that come from the generation of my child. So I still have.
Hi. Hello, Nick. Pog, back to you, sir.
Yeah.
Trail Dogs is asking you guys more, I guess, on your side, not so much on the app side, but will you guys be racing Big Bear? They're asking.
Won't be coming down to Big Bear this year.
Yeah, you
no,
guys
I don't think so either. I'm too busy. But
that'd be fun though. Big Bear is fun. I just been there during the winter, but yeah, I'd love to visit during the summer.
I know.
When is it?
It's downhill enduro, right?
Yep, downhill enduro.
Yeah.
I'll be at Sea Otter. We have some CES rides planned, Ashland and China Peak. So there's the usual suspects. I think you guys in SoCal are definitely full of events. NorCal kind of likes to keep it a little bit more closer to the heart. SoCal is like, it's a party. Everybody's invited.
Yeah. So, we pull in, we're like, phew, wait, there's another one? Oh no. Let's see, we got Landsberg is saying something here that he hates from Strava, and maybe it could correlate to the Bikerider app. I'm not sure, but he says, I hate the haters who have discredit your ride on Strava. I make most of my rides private now. I am not trying to compete with people. Hopefully you don't have the flag other people rides feature.
No, we hope, yeah. I guess I think if I understand, no, we hope the community is going to be nice. I'm not sure exactly. I never discredited someone's ride. You can do that, like downvote someone's ride on Strava.
Yeah, or maybe you can challenge the fact they flagged it like that guy really didn't get KOM or something like that.
I got it. Yeah, he was in a car or an e-bike or whatever. Yeah, okay, I got it.
Yeah, but your app is going to be more towards organization, right?
Yeah, I think we would more like if we going to do something close to Strava, I would assume or think that would be pulling in part of your Strava profile into your Bikerider profile. So that would more be like collaborating with Strava rather than building some of their features. I think people have strong opinions about Strava. I think they, from a technical perspective, do a really, really good job on the GPS tracking and all the segments and all that. That's really, really hard to get that to work well. You see there's new apps popping up trying to do Strava 2.0. Yeah. And maybe they have a better angle, but that's so hard to get GPS data and all these devices, like all these thousands of Android devices and iPhones. And I think they're doing a good job. Yeah, I'm not interested in jumping in there, So, and I think, like we want to be a community. We want to be focusing around events and rides, not tracking about rides. But I see how we, through Strava's API, and that would be with their consent, not like challenging them. Like pulling in information, like, so say you have your Bikerider profile, maybe it has a picture of you, the last rides you've been to. If you want to publish that, it could have your Instagram, your YouTube, and maybe your KOMs. We pull them directly from Strava if you do connect with Strava. But that would be, just using their API and completely, so the user decides, I want to connect with Strava, just like you can connect most apps with Facebook or something else.
Gotcha.
But so I'm afraid I'm not really answering his question. I think if we would to have any flag feature that I can think of, it would be like flag event. If someone organizer claims that an event is like, I don't know, road bike, and it's obviously not, I guess, you could report it so we can, but that wouldn't be a hostile act. That would be, we would have a nice word for it, like, help, because it's like, then we can like, oh, something went wrong, like right. This shouldn't be a road bike. It's obviously mountain biking. So that's the only reporting, that I could think of that could show up in the near future in our app. I don't know, did you follow up? No. So we try to be nice. That's like, and we want to foster a community that has the same sentiment, or
right.
We're all here to ride bikes. There's no reason to hate.
That's right. Exactly. And I think that, like how Nick was saying it earlier, you guys are beyond the GPS and beyond that. You guys are trying to get the people together in areas that they want to go to. And this is the information that they can glean in one spot that's in your pocket. And then once you get there and you're with the people you want to be with, then you can pop open that Strava app and let that thing do its thing. But exactly. You guys are on a whole different ball game. You guys are getting people together. Does that sound about right, Nick?
Yeah, there's one little analogy that I use sometimes when communicating with some people on Instagram, and it's kind of like, it's this in a nutshell. But we're like trail forks, but for events. So the same way you use trail forks to find a trail that you've never ridden, you look it up on your phone, you see where it's at, you hear people talking about it. Maybe there's a couple of useful features in there about, the conditions of the trail, or, how long, how much elevation, that sort of information. We're doing that, but with events.
That's cool.
It's pretty simple.
That's great. That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. One of the audience members tonight is asking, will there be a membership fee?
That's a good question.
Yeah. No, I was kidding.
Right now, Ian, it is free.
No, it's free.
Yeah. This is a labor of love. I mean, Michael can speak to this, but this is something we honestly just want to get more people on bikes and bring. It comes from our personal experience. It's like missing things, don't want to miss out, finding stuff when we're bored. To be honest, here's a funny story. I was a single father for a while, and I was on the local mommies websites looking for events for my kids. So it's kind of like finding events that are happening during the weekend. It's you can go onto some. There's some people who do this, but it's not focused, and it's not like buried between the pet sitter and the crochet party is the 12-mile ride that's casual along the beach.
Nice.
What we're doing is we're scouring the World Wide Web. That's the plan. That's the goal. And to start to be crowdsourced, to bring people into and participate into the event, and to contribute, what they're doing, and then they offer that to the next person. So.
Mm-hmm. That's very cool. Like your analogy earlier of the guy who's trying to repair his jumps and wants to have eventually a whip off day, and he or she could submit a form into the Bikerider app. This is all potentially, and that way it would be user fed, and then that would be able to feed into the system. People can find that. That is cool. Desert Rat MTB says, "Hey guys, the price is fun and new friends."
Yeah,
that's not a bad price to pay.
No, thank you. I might add, like to the pricing. So yes, it will be free, and we will not prevent, like if there is going to be a price, like we can't know this now. Like at some point, if there is going to be like a pro tier or something, that's going to be optional, and there's going to be some, like a substantial value for doing that, not like locking down the network. I mean, that would defeat the whole purpose, just like Nick says. Like that's not what we're doing. If there's like, I don't even know what that would be right now, but if there, like if we can provide a substantial value, that people are willing to pay for at some point, we need to pay the bills too, and keep the lights on, and keep growing this app. Right now we do it on our spare time. All expenses comes out of our pocket, so and we love it so much, so we do that. But I think so I don't know if it's going to be free, but yes, it's going to be free. Is there going to be a paid tier? Maybe. Let's put it that way. And I think that's
look at the levels in the house. What a great family these guys are. Joey from Smooth, and Chase and Lindsay and Carly. These guys are a crew.
Yeah. And congratulations to Joey for his recent wedding. That was a beautiful thing. Chase is asking, will there be Bikerider apparel? This is also going down that same road as well. So maybe, possibly.
What a great question. I would love that. But we have lots of things to do before then, but that'd be awesome. I'd love that.
Yeah, that would be great. Now let's talk about June 1st. This is launch day, right? The Bikerider app. do you guys have a goal, or is there a number that would be beneficial for you guys to have as far as downloads? Are there any metrics on that? Because I think, like, hearing this today, obviously this is a no-brainer. Go get the app. It's completely free. It's going to organize events in your area. You can filter it to your disciplines. It doesn't take much to download it, and it's going to be a powerful resource for you. But on opening day, what are you guys hoping for?
Maybe I'll grab that. June 1st. So basically what we have today, let's start there just to get orientation. So we have a web app, and we have a work in progress iOS app for iPhone, and we have an Android app. So it's 3 different apps, same app, but just 3 different platforms. If you want to check out the app ahead of time, there's you can go to Bikerider.app on your mobile phone and just use it in your browser. That's the least feature-rich version. But if you do, I'm going to show you. So if you go, I'll show this. So this is a Chrome on a regular phone. This is an Android phone, and you can pre-order it by clicking the Get the App. So the easiest way to pre-order it is to bring up your phone instead of doing it on your desktop, because we can't link you to the App Store or Play Store.
Go ahead, put that back up there so we could see it. I put you in solo format there.
There. So here at the bottom, the white one, it says Get the App, and it says here this is a pre-order. It's totally free. It just gets us motivated and happy, and you're going to get the app right away when we launch on June 1st. And if you do the same thing on an iOS device, it's going to bring you to the App Store. So that's the easy way to do it. Nick has linked from Instagram to the same place. So
okay,
whatever you do it on your phone, and it should guide you to the right way for the pre-order. If you want to be on the beta for the iOS or Android app, email us and we'll try to get you on, so you can, if you want to try an early version of the beta. So that's the status we have today. We have an Android app in beta, we have an iOS app in beta, and we have the same app as a web app that you can run in your browser.
Okay.
They're all available. Both of them are available for pre-order, and if you contact us, you can also get them, to try them. That's it. What are we working on right now? The next, 3-4 weeks, 3.5. So first thing coming up is a new interface for event organizers, because the day when we go live on both the App Store and Play Store, we want to have as many events on as possible. So you already seen what we have. We want to reach more into races and bigger events and more like custom events that are, we have had, like we talked about before, a lot of group rides, and we want to expand that and cover as much as we can in this little time all over US. So that's why, while we're cranking out code, we're also reaching out to these event organizers that are ready to put their events in before, so they're going to get an early version. So anyone who knows an event organizer, please ask them to contact us or tell us so we can contact them, so we can get their events into the app. And there's one more feature that everyone is asking for, and it's so essential, and that's being able to better filter the events to your local area. That's my firm ambition, to have that ready for June 1st, fingers crossed. And June 1st we go live, so then we can forget about betas and pre-orders and the whole thing, and we're out there, and we roll from there. So that's that's the plan for the next couple of weeks.
That's a busy next couple weeks, but that's an exciting next couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, let's see. Let's go back to what is that email? I'm going to pop it into the chat here so everyone can see it, so that if anybody wants to contact you guys, I'm assuming is email the best way?
Yeah, that'd be great. So team@bikerider.app. That'd be great.
Bikerider.app.
Yeah,
it's going up there now.
Oh, sorry. Team at bikerider.app.
And I spelled it wrong. I'm sorry. team@bikerider.app. There we go. Using too many of my thumbs.
And we're also very active on Instagram. So that's, if you see us there or you want to reach out that way, that's fine too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nick
So that's
has,
that's our channels right now, Instagram and email, I guess.
that's
We like
great.
Instagram more than email, but you know, for
Yeah.
it's a good process. If you want to get on the beta, yeah, but either way works.
That's very cool. That's very cool. And if they got the beta, then on launch day, it just converts over to the real thing.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
So this is great. We got a lot of guys here that are saying this sounds very promising. I can't wait to give it a try. Somebody had mentioned this. Chase actually mentioned need to get a. What do you guys think about this? Need to get a QR code up, and I'll post it at the SoCal trailheads and in the shops.
Oh, I love
Ooh,
that.
Nice.
We'll
Cool.
get some stickers made and send them out to you, Chase.
there
Yeah,
you go.
Yeah.
Grassroots, and then stick. Well, that that
That's a
QR
really
code
good
should
idea.
work on Instagram too, right? We can all spread it around on Instagram,
Yeah.
right? Well,
Yeah,
I
that's a
guess
really good idea. I like that. Thanks,
Yeah.
Chase.
Look
Thank
at you, Chase.
I love it.
That was Ian Kelly had backed that up. Love the QR code idea. It'd be great to be able to blast out to the squad and all the peeps. We talk on a daily basis and when we ride. So
I love it too.
that's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I think was there somebody else back here who had something to say around that? I think that was it for the comments. Oh, Isaiah, one of the trail dogs, says used a free one online and it worked perfect. There you go.
Cool.
Nice.
There's a testimony right there from Isaiah. Use the free one online and it worked perfect. Guys, can you believe we're already up to an hour already?
What?
I know. It goes so fast.
When you're having fun, yeah.
It goes so fast.
I just want to say one thing from my end. It's, we're a small team. We're doing this as a passion project. We're super committed for the long haul. We've had lots of deep conversations about this together. And what you see now when you go to our web app and see the preview is such a small sampling of what this will be in the future. So getting the message out there, super important, because like I said, crowdsourcing is where the bulk of the good stuff is going to come from. Stuff that the big guys get all the clout. So let's like sort of bring the grassroots back.
Exactly.
And the backyard barbecues going, and let's bring it back. So with that said, I think you're going to see a small sampling at first of the events. You may not see stuff that's happening in your area, but every month there's going to be every day we're loading events.
Every day.
Hundreds of events. So it's going to be thousands and then in the tens of thousands, and sky's the limit.
Love it. Love it.
I 100% agree.
And folks, this is the entire team behind the Bikerider app. Thank you guys for being on the segment tonight. And before you go, I do need to ask a question. I love asking this question to all my guests, and it's kind of a silly question, but it goes across all genres, no matter what your discipline of two wheels are. But it's not a two-wheel question. So we'll start with Cilla, and then we'll go through the line. All right, guys, before I let you go, is cereal a soup? Why or why not?
You were breaking up there. I didn't hear you.
Oh,
yeah.
Is cereal a soup? Why or why not? And we'll go with Cilla first.
I would say cereal is not a soup because it's my kids' breakfast, I would say. I don't know. It's a hard topic, moving to a new country, finding stuff like that. So it just makes me think of breakfast and the issues with that.
There you go. There you go. And Cilla, what current bike are you riding right now?
So I ride a hardtail, a Trek, pretty big one. I have it for a year now, and it's I think we're starting to become really good friends.
Nice. And favorite trails that you like to ride, or favorite trail you like to ride?
So actually yesterday, me and Michael were up at Montagne, which is like our really nearby mountain here. And it was so beautiful. So I was like, it's a rough mountain because there's some steep passages where you have to fight really hard to get up. But getting up there, it's like you're in another part of the world, or in another part of the universe even. So it was amazing. So I must say Mount Tam for now, just because I had such a great ride yesterday.
Love it. Love it. All right, Michael, you're up next, buddy. Is cereal a soup? Why or why not?
Yeah, I have to say, like Cilla, cereal is like an odd. Yeah, I'm thinking about the breakfast cereal, so no, it's not a soup. I don't relate to it in another way, and that might be my Swedish roots.
Nice, nice. And then, what bike are you currently riding today?
My main bike for mountain biking is a Santa Cruz Chameleon that I've upgraded a little bit here and there. I really like that bike. And then I have a road bike, which is a Trek Emonda S5.
Nice,
So
nice.
it's a good bike. Go ahead.
And favorite trail or location you like to ride?
Let's see. I have only ridden it once, but that was there's a trail called Braille, I think, near the Flow Trail in Santa Cruz. That was a lot of fun, even on a hardtail, I must say. But yeah, there's a bunch of trails, but that's one that comes to mind. I only done it once, so the novelty hasn't worn out.
Nice.
But right now it's up there.
That's a great.
It's a lot of jumps. It's steep, but not too steep, and lots of features all the way down. So it's like, yeah, perfect for, its play.
Those are the best, Michael, because you could ride it so many times, and each time could be a different experience.
There's features all over, 5 features ever.
I love it.
Yeah, I want to go back.
I love that. All right, Nick, you are on the hot seat now with the silly question: is cereal a soup? Why or why not?
I'm going to throw a wrench in this question and just say, yeah, it's a soup. Part liquid, part solid.
Love it. And I want to crack up on this one. This is really good. In current bike, somebody actually mentioned in the background, I think it was Chase. He said, "Hold on, is that a Santa Cruz behind Nick?"
Yeah. So this is, you can't ride it hard and throw it away wet. So it's sitting in a dry location. I'm riding a 2017 Tall Boy. It's carbon with the XX conditions. And I've got early 2000s single speed clunker, grocery getter.
Grocery go getter. Love that. And Nick, favorite trail or location that you like to ride?
Yeah, I think it just goes back to where I first started mountain biking, and the China Camp State Park in Northern California, the Bay Area. So there's a lot of great stuff up there. At first glance, it's like, oh, there's a trail or two, but then there's this 70 miles of trail network. There's a backside and a front side, so the payoff is good. You don't have to work too hard to get a good long ride out of it.
That's great.
That's awesome. An insane trails system.
Yeah, that's a lot of miles of trails. Is there anything else, you guys, that you wanted to add to the podcast for the folks that are watching or listening out there before we call this one?
Thank you for all the support. Oh my God, this has been so energizing and fun. There's like a lot of hours, it's weekends and evenings, and there's a lot of hours, many hours in front of the computer. And this has been a blast. Thank you so much for all the support.
Yeah. We get really excited when, people, small notes on Instagram or that's really what keeps us going. It really boosts morale in the band. And please spread pre-order and please tell everyone else to pre-order. I mean, you can technically wait until launch day, but it's a good vibe, to do it. It gets us to crank in those extra hours that we probably need. So, to give you a great app and a good experience on launch day. So please spread the link, Bikerider.app, and tell everyone to open it in their mobile phone on their web browser, and there they can it knows if it's an Android phone and sends you to the right store, or if it's an iPhone. Thank you.
You got it. You got it. Nick, how about you? Anything else you wanted to add to this?
Yeah, awesome. Mark, you're great. This has been a blast. Bikerider is just getting started, and we have so much to give and so many big ideas that we can't tell you about. And so just believe in us. The best way is to just reach out. Instagram is awesome. So you can send us DMs. Spread the love. We promise you we got something in store. So stay tuned.
This has been awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the team behind Bikerider app. Hope you guys are able to download this both on iOS and Android. There's also the mobile or the web-based app right there. Nick's pointing to it right now. Completely free. It fits in your pocket, right? And it's got a ton of value and information for you, and it's just going to continue to pour more information in. So let's get on this train early. Let's support these folks that are working hard for us to make our mountain bike community even stronger and closer. Thank you again, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thank you, team, for being on tonight. And I can't wait to see where you guys end up in the next couple of years. It's going to be a great ride. Can't wait to see
Mark.
Thank you,
All
Mark.
right, guys.
Thank you so much. This was a blast.
Have a great night, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a great evening.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bikerider app. Go get it.